Good day, welcome to Switch. My name is Olanrewajuni, and today I will be sharing with us on what I have titled, The Power in the Little. I will be taking my text from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4. I'll begin my reading from verse 1. This is a story of a widow who happens to be in lack and in want and has nothing except for a small little bottle of oil that was in the house. And so the lender had come and they were going to take his children, and it was going to be a terrible situation for her. And therefore ran to Prophet Elisha and asked that Elisha will help. And Elisha said, well, what do you have in your house? Then the woman said, I have nothing except for a little jar of oil that I have in the house, or a small bottle of oil that I have in the house. And it looks insignificant to this woman as to the challenge that she had at that point in time. And then the prophet asking, what do you have in your house? And said, a little bottle of oil. I realized that most of the time, the small thing in our hands are most of the time the things that God will use to make up for big things that we always believe for or we want to see in our lives. Big seed without life will not generate anything substantial. In other words, it is not how big what you have in your hand is. It is the power of life that is inside of what you have in your hand. Jesus said, if you have faith like that of a mustard seed, little seed, like a mustard seed in your hand, if you have faith like that of a mustard seed, you will say to the mountain, and then the mountain will respond to you. In other words, if you have big challenge ahead of you, sometimes you may think that what other people have in their hand is what you need to solve your problem. But oftentimes what God does is that He does not go outside the perimeters of our lives to solve the problem of our lives. God will always use the little in your hand to solve the problem that you have. And so I was looking at the life of Jesus Christ and how He was able to feed the 5,000 men, not to count the number of women and the children that are likely to be in the meeting that He had for that 3 days. And then the young boy came and then said, there's a little lunch pack here. And then Jesus took it and gave thanks, not writing it off. And then what happened is that 5,000 men were fed, plus the children and all the rest of the guys that were there. You could be saying that about 15,000 people were fed by that lunch pack. Now, another time, He had 5 loaves and 7 loaves and 2 fishes, and then He fed less number of people. And that tells me that it is not how much that you have. It is not the number of the resources, the abundance of the resources that you have in your hand that determine how great your life is going to be. It is the power that is in the little that you have. Don't write your little off. There is more to what you have than what you are seeing at the moment through your life. I realized that growing up in life, and then I had an admission into school, and then when I got admission into school, they gave me secretariat administration. It became a tool. I didn't look down on it based on what my friends were saying. They said this is a course for ladies, but I did it. But you know what happened eventually? Those who study banking and finance never had the opportunity of working in a bank. I work in a bank. Some of my friends who used to laugh me and scorn me in those days happens to be beneficiary of the blessing that came as a result of what I studied. And so don't let anybody underrate or underestimate or look down on the little that you have. Or probably you just started a business and the business is still undergoing the process of the seed time and harvest. And somebody is saying that, oh, maybe you have to change. Maybe you have to look at something else. Don't ever look at that. Look at what you carry on the inside of you and begin to inject the life that is inside of you into the little that you have. I believe and I trust that what seems insignificant today will become something big that the entire world will come to celebrate you for. God bless you.